Ah, there we are. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Stoned. Jesus Christ, we can hear myself? It's unacceptable. Do not be wanting feedback loops and other things happening. Just gonna hit resume. We're gonna start right from where we are. As you can see, we are continuing the Raven Remastered, of course, not the original. We just made it to the boat. We're Constable Zeller? Something. Constable something. And we're currently helping Lieutenant Lagrange, something, to find the culprit, who we're suspecting is the Raven. I'm currently not supposed to be going on this boat, or something like that. So, I kind of want to just explore the world here for a second. You gave me like this big open square. Oh, there's a lady sitting in this car up here. Look at Crane.
In my younger years, I might have considered abseiling from the crane down to the ship, but those days are long past.
Abseiling? You just mean you're gonna jump? Go to the young woman's car.
Amazing how much luggage there is for so few passengers, and I'd guess that 3/4 of it belongs to the women.
Well, that's very, like, nice luggage.
Fine car, but nothing compared to the young lady who owns it.
I can't, like, speak to her? That's a little weird. Yeah, I can't, like, speak to her. Huh. She does not want to be disturbed. Oh, there's a guy back here.
Oh. The sea is quiet today. Ideal conditions for a cruise.
It looks very nice. I will not deny that. Oh, that's the... Okay, Constable.
Constable Oliver seems to be a little simplistic. But I don't think he's a bad policeman. The way he reacted in the tunnel and got the train moving. Hats off.
Let's talk to him, yeah.
Hello, Constable Olivier.
It's Oliver.
I just wanted to say that you did a good job in the tunnel.
Thanks.
How did you know how to get the train moving?
I come from a family of miners, and my uncle is an engine driver down the mine.
I see. And you looked over his shoulder?
Yeah, best way to learn.
Did Legrand tell you about his theory? That it could be the real Raven?
Of course he did. We're partners.
But the modus operandi doesn't fit at all. The Raven wasn't a bomber.
We have the letter. And the feather. That's his symbol.
Anyone can put a feather in an envelope.
You would
That's
know.
true.
What's that supposed to mean?
It was you.
What was me?
You put the envelope on the safe.
To blow myself up?
You threw the bomb away, and now you're the famous hero, right? And the Raven must have paid you pretty well.
That is ridiculous.
Oh.
Is it? Only you and I and Legrand were in the freight car. One of us must have put the envelope on the safe. Legrand didn't. And
Well,
I
you don't
didn't.
know.
Think about
But,
it.
I mean, you gotta expect all situations. Right? Like, it's just one of the things.
I'll be marching up this gangway today, no matter what. Someone has to stop that damn bomber before he endangers more people.
Yeah, we're not boarding the ship, though, because I don't feel like that guy at the top is gonna let me through. So... what else is this way? Nothing. Invisible wall. No, I can keep going. Oh, oh, oh. That might be it. Okay. Hmm. Is there a run? I forget. Something's going on.
I'll be marching up this.
Oh, okay.
Someone.
Okay, I have my wallet. What about my car? Is there anything in my car? No? What about that young lady sitting in the other car now? There's gotta be something going on with her. I was surprised I couldn't talk to her before. So what I'll do is I'll see if I can talk to her. If I can't talk to her, I'll try to go up the gangway.
What could she be? An actress? A millionaire's daughter? She's certainly attracting a lot of attention. I'll take an inconspicuous look up close.
Totally inconspicuous. Oh!
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting anyone to be crawling around on the ground in front of my door.
Don't worry about it, miss. No harm done.
That's good to hear, Mr.
Zellner. Anton
Zellner.
Jakob Zellner. May I ask your name?
Patricia Mayers.
Are you American?
I am. Could you help me, please?
Certainly.
Yeah?
Are you on your way to Egypt?
Yes.
Are you on holiday?
My father works for a railroad company there.
And is rebuilding the country after the war. Wonderful.
Yes. Wonderful. One more.
You're lucky to have a father who takes you to so many interesting places.
Oh, yes. Lucky me.
Aren't you interested in Egypt? The pyramids, the history.
I would have been more interested in a father who doesn't travel 300 days a year.
I'm sure your father regrets that he can't always be with you.
No
True.
doubt. And I'm sure he always wanted the best for me. But that doesn't stop him from thinking only about himself far too often. Bring my luggage on board, please.
Excuse me?
It was a pleasure meeting you, Constable Zellner.
Impertinent.
We want it on board. Right? Wait, there's this guy here now, though. Dr. Gebhardt?
Is the doctor afraid to board the ship?
Well, we're gonna talk to him, though. I guess we're not doing the luggage. Damn. Would have been a nice way to get on board.
Hello, Dr. Gebhardt.
Ah, the hero of the hour.
He produced by that one.
Have
Captain?
you already met the captain?
Mario Di Conti. Heard of him?
Should I have?
He is something of a star in Italy. A war hero. In the First World War, when he was a young man, he sank more enemy ships than anyone else. In the Second World War, well, he had some personal problems.
You mean like the ones you buy in bottles and pillboxes?
Yeah, you could say that. Anyway, sending him into combat was out of the question. They gave him a supply ship instead, and he became a hero again. His ship, part of a convoy from Palermo to North Africa, was the only one that made it. with an extra 100 seamen who he rescued from the other ships.
Impressive.
To say his health is rather shaky these days would be an understatement. I think most of my time on board will be spent dealing with his numerous ailments.
Is your new job bothering you?
On the contrary, I wasn't sure whether I made the right decision until now. I'm from the Black
My nose is
Forest.
so itchy now.
There are only mountains there, no ships. But now, the salty breeze, the atmosphere, I think I want to stay at sea forever.
Whoa! Speed
The
demon.
sea is one thing, the passengers are another.
It will be okay.
What do you know about the Baroness?
Nothing really.
Did you talk to her in the tunnel?
No, her butler was looking after her, and I was busy with Miss Miller. As you can imagine, it was a shock for her to see her son rolling away on a burning train.
That's understandable.
So, we were all glad when we heard about your brave deed.
Well, there's nothing left for me to do but to wish you a good trip.
Oh, you are not coming with us?
Unfortunately, no. I'm to go back to Zurich.
What a pity.
Take care, Dr. Gebhardt.
Oh, I just remembered. We found these in the tunnel. Are they yours?
I'm afraid so.
Strophantine. Do you have heart problems? Maybe it's for the best that you're not coming along. Too much excitement could be bad for your health.
You mean if I don't do anything, I'll probably have a few more years to live?
That's right. Keep your chin up.
That almost sounded like a threat. I'm not gonna read into my mans. Yeah. What's up, Baroness?
James! Where on earth are you?
Hello, Baroness.
Ah, Inspector.
Constable.
Poppycock. You won't be a constable much longer. When they find out how you rescued that little boy, they'll have to promote you to Inspector.
Very kind of you to say so, Baroness. Did you know that the real Eye of the Sphinx wasn't even on the train?
I had no idea. Inspector Legrand seems to prefer to keep me in the dark, although I'm the one paying for all of this.
The inspector is ensuring the safety of the Eye.
Well, obviously. All the same, it was you who did the real work on the train.
I don't know about
hope
Cairo.
that the remainder of your trip to Cairo will be less stressful.
You aren't coming with us?
I'm afraid Inspector Legrand doesn't want my company.
Now, where's my damned butler? James, there you are. Is the inspector to carry my luggage onto the ship all by himself?
Well, actually... Baroness?
Baroness, can you hear me? She fainted.
No. No.
Baroness?
Again, harder.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Help me up.
Perhaps we should...
Now.
I'll get Dr. Gebhardt.
No, Doctor. Just a little moment of weakness. Your arm, James. Take me to the ship.
But of course, madam.
I like James.
That was no moment of weakness. She saw something that shocked her, or someone.
I got my eye on
Interesting,
you.
especially since she doesn't want to admit it. Who or what did she see? Neither of them seems to have noticed what happened down here. You'll have a tough time with her. How does one get aboard without a ticket? Not brilliant, but it's a possibility.
Was I just done? Like, I didn't even get to look in her car? I wanted to be a creeper a little bit more, bro. And, like, is everyone just gonna park their cars here for months on time? There's gotta be something else that I can do over here.
Unfortunately, I didn't have time to see the sights in Venice. Paperwork served up by my Italian colleagues took up most of the day.
And like, this safe is so important that you're literally just gonna leave it here at the back of the truck. Come on. No. Alright, I guess the only thing left to do is to try to go up the gangway.
Oh, who do we have here? Signore...
This is Constable Anton Zellner.
Signore Zellner, I heard about your feats in the mountains. Welcome aboard the MS Lydia.
Thank you, Captain.
I didn't know you'd be taking part in the journey, but I'm glad to have you with us. I'll have a nice cabin prepared for you immediately.
The constable will not be joining us. He has other duties.
Oh, that's too bad. I would have loved to hear about his adventures from the man himself.
Ooh.
May I ask how to get to the cargo hold?
Oh, Signori, there are much nicer places on board.
But I'm interested in the cargo hold.
Why is that?
One of the trunks seems suspicious to me. Someone could be hidden in it.
You... You want to imply that the most brilliant and probably richest thief in all of Europe is stowing away in a trunk? That's not
Why
his
not?
style.
That's what makes it more likely
In fact,
that
who
it's
says
not
it's a he?
him, but a copycat who's behind all this. And a copycat's style might include doing whatever it takes, like hiding in a trunk if they've lost the
Now,
ticket.
the
come now.
figure
Actually,
definitely screamed
It would
more
be
masculine,
possible
like
for a registered
the
passenger to board the ship
Mr.
without
Legrand
a
here.
ticket.
Oh,
What do you mean?
You can't buy a ticket for the Lydia at the counter. You book the trip in advance. We know the names of all the passengers. As long as a passenger is on the guest list, we let them board the ship. Doesn't matter if they have a ticket or not.
And did any of the passengers board without a ticket?
I couldn't say. We ask for a name and check it on the list. The tickets are no more than souvenirs for the passengers.
So much for your trunk theory.
Regardless of what
No,
you say,
that's still
I would
really good
still
info.
like to examine the cargo hold.
All right, then, if you like. But we'll meet here again in 10 minutes. Captain De Conti, before we depart, I'd like to send 2 telegrams.
Certainly, Inspector. The cargo hold is over there. You can enter through a door on the forecastle. The horn will sound twice, 5 minutes before we set off. That's
I don't know
the
what you
signal
just
for
said,
all
but
the
it
dock
definitely
workers to
wasn't
leave the ship.
Forecastle.
Understood, Captain.
Follow me to the bridge. You can send your telegrams from there.
My time is running out. If I don't find anything in the cargo hold, my cruise will be over before it even begins.
Okay. I need to speed demon check the cargo hold, apparently. You gonna make me find the cargo hold, or are you gonna spawn me in it?
Oh, no.
Okay. Looks like I spawned in it.
Oh, what's this? Aha.
Of course. You're gonna make me speed demon. No, 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 not leave.
If I go now, it's over
Okay.
for me. Legrand would be adamant that I leave the ship. I can't let it come to that.
Okay.
That's the young woman's cabriolet. Apparently they absolutely had to take it to Egypt, at Daddy's expense, of course.
Oh, of course.
Hello? Come on out. The game's up. I'm opening the trunk. Hello?
Well, I gotta examine this though.
I'm sure someone was in the trunk. But where are they now? The shards are... Phew. I startled too easily.
Oh! I don't know what happened, but it sounded very heavy. And straight to the dome. Oh, shots fired. Damn. Oh yeah. We're what? Oh shit. My man. Did I?
Ouch! Damn. Ah!
Oh no, we gotta go back
Best
around
if
that
no
corner.
one found out about this.
Oh no, no. Go back around that corner. Oh, come on. There's a knife underneath this thing that I need to pick up. What a guy. I'm
I
nice
bought it
myself.
last week second hand. I like it because it tells a story.
I think I might have messed up that scene.
There's some blood and hair stuck to the pipe. Hair I really can't afford to lose. I'll hold it on the blood-spattered end. After all, we already know who the victim is.
That's actually pretty smart. I didn't even look around this side.
A detention cell for crew members? Or maybe for rowdy passengers?
Crate with a bullet hole?
The shot hit this crate. The question is, was the gunman actually trying to hit it? And if so, why? The cargo hold seems to be used as a changing room for the crew as well. Or at least the part of the crew that doesn't do their work in white suits.
Yeah. Maintenance. Oh,
A chair is the last thing I need right now. I was sitting long enough over there in the corner.
but it was an option to check it. Was this always flipped around like this? Probably. Oh.
It's already dark outside. How long have I been unconscious?
That does not look dark, bro.
I didn't lock the door when I came in. Whoever locked the door is stronger than me. I should be careful. The gunman may still be nearby.
Leverage. Need to find a pencil so I can make some powder like I did with the window. I'm learning. Oh yeah.
What are you up to, Zelna?
Just smelling your gun, bro.
I was jumped in the cargo hold.
Of course you were.
Here, look. Careful how you hold it. There could be fingerprints on the end.
Surely you don't expect me to believe you.
Even if you don't believe me about blow to the
They
head.
didn't just knock me out. They
Boom.
shot at me as well.
Someone shot at you while you were unconscious? Our mysterious guest doesn't just like to travel in chests of clothes. He's also the worst marksman in the world.
Seems he wasn't aiming at me. And maybe it was a different man who fired the shot.
Ridiculous. You wanted to come along. Orders be damned, and so you found a way to stay here. I should throw you overboard.
I
No.
would have dreamed up something less painful.
True. That doesn't look good.
See? And there's a bullet wedged in a wooden crate down there. I don't have a gun.
The doctor should have a look at it. Come with me.
If you want to live. Oh, like a little shuffleboard type game. That's what I'm gonna do when I get older. I will play some shuffleboard.
Inspector Legrand and Constable Zelna. So you have decided to join us on our journey after all.
So it would seem. We are searching for Dr. Gebhardt.
I'm just fine, Captain Conte.
The
I'm in control. I can manage. Tell James
In my head a little
he
bit too much.
absolutely must wake me at 9:45.
Certainly, madam.
Absolutely.
I shall see that he does.
And now, I shall return to my chambers. You'll be in the bar tonight at 10, Inspector.
If that's what you wish.
It will be spectacular,
Don't doubt that.
I promise.
I bid you adieu, my lady. There.
The fresh sea air, and perhaps a glass of champagne to many. But I'm glad that you decided to join us on our journey to Cairo.
Not quite voluntarily.
So he says.
I was jumped from behind.
But no, that is...
Dr. Gebhardt should have a look at him, Captain De Conti.
Of course. Please, have a seat in the saloon, Constable Zelna. I'll summon the doctor.
Thank you, Captain. Excuse me.
Ah, Doctor, there you are. Our brave Constable Zelna was attacked.
Struck on the head.
Oh. Sit down, please.
Now, please, tell me exactly what happened.
Okay.
I think you've got a stowaway on board. I was jumped.
Intolerable. I'll have the crew search every nook and cranny of the ship. And of course, Mr. Zelna, you are cordially invited to travel as our special guest.
Good to know that at least one man doesn't want to throw me overboard.
Is it bad?
Yes, it hurts a lot.
I spoke with Dr. Gebhardt.
He suffered a violent blow to the back of the head. I cannot really say how bad it is.
But I can. It really hurts. Where are we? And what time is it? I must have been out for ages.
It's just after 8 p.m.
You just missed dinner. But we'll all meet here in the saloon at 10 o'clock to have a drink together. Greeting the passengers personally is a tradition I will not break, even on this unusual journey.
How many fingers do you see?
Technically, I see 4 and a thumb, but like you have 3 up.
3 fingers.
Okay.
Why didn't anyone come looking for me? Didn't anyone notice that I didn't come back from the cargo hold?
We did search for you, but we couldn't find you.
Who was supposed to search the cargo hold?
Constable Oliver. I'll have a talk with him about that later.
I should
The only
hope
other
so.
person
You're
that
all
has
right
a
now,
gun,
Constable.
as far as I know.
The bleeding has stopped, and the wound looks good.
No,
You may
Scotland
have
Yard.
a
I don't think
mild
they carry
concussion.
guns at this point in
You
time. I
just
think
need
they
a
had
good night's sleep. And
Billies.
tomorrow, your only worries will be a headache and an impressive bump.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That's a good enough reason to celebrate. Enough about crooks and thieves.
Nope.
From now on, you can start to enjoy your free cruise.
Inspector,
What?
a dark shadow. Upper deck, just now.
Go, let's have a look.
I'll join you.
Me too.
No, you stay here.
Do you want to make this an argument?
No doubt. We're gonna fucking lay down, my
Robert,
dude.
go to the Baroness and don't let her out of your sight. Zelna, you're coming to the port side. Doctor, you go to starboard. I'll start at the forecastle and work my way back to the two of you.
Forecastle.
Understood?
But
Baroness von Trebitz.
She's like drunk, bro.
Hello? Baroness von Trebitz? Open the door.
Dr. Gebhardt insisted on coming along, but now he doesn't seem to be sure if that was a good idea.
Yeah, let's talk to you, bro.
Are you okay, Doctor?
oh, of course. Why wouldn't I be? It's just that, well, I would prefer to come with you.
You heard the inspector.
Hello? Can I not talk to you and tell you that she's drunk and won't be able to come out and say what's up, bro?
All right, Doc. I'm off.
Oh no, I'm not going on a manhunt all by myself.
Oh, there might have been. I could have done a couple things. Oh, should have explored a little bit more.
Are you okay? Maybe you had better take a rest, in case the blow was more severe.
I'm okay.
I literally just come out a
Turner,
door.
up here.
Come on. I think it came from up there.
I think it came from. Oh, okay.
Sure, you just wanted to get a breath of fresh air. Zelna, look who we have here.
Well, if that's not our shadow.
And our stowaway.
Spent any time hiding in a trunk recently?
Me do nothing.
He claims to be part of the crew. Just wanted to get some fresh air.
Of course.
Well, we need the captain to confirm. We can't just.
Baroness won't open the door, sir.
Understood. Take him to the detention cell, Robert.
You're not really in control of the ship, my man. He doesn't even have a gun. The only gun I've actually seen so far is this guy's.
You were right. There was a stowaway.
Yes, but he can't be the Raven. He's too young.
Right, but that doesn't mean that the Raven isn't lurking here as well.
What was that?
A shot!
Okay,
It came
so
from
it's
one
not
of the
his.
cabins.
There's another gun on board. Sorry, I just had like a first-person view or
Oh
something.
no! Baroness von Trebitz? Baroness! Open
Kick
the
the door. And the doctor's the one throwing his arm at it?
Step aside, please.
We have a murder on our hands, gentlemen. Hurry, Zelna. The murderer still has to be nearby.
So it can't be the doctor. The doctor was with us. It can't be him. He was in front of me.
No one on deck. Anyone who's outside is a suspect.
Where's
This
James?
time we'll get him. Zelna, are you okay?
Yes. Come on. We have to.
Zelna?
I'm dead.
Zelna! Murder!
I'm dead. Alright, so that was a good game, guys. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate you all. Unfortunately, we just died, and that's the end of the game. So, GG's.
Ah, you awake? Sleep well, did you?
Save your breath. What's the status of the investigation?
Don't take that tone with me. While you were sleeping, we were working.
What's the state of play? How was the Baroness killed?
The Baroness was shot in the chest at close range. We'll know more once the doc finishes examining the body in the medical centre.
And no one saw anything suspicious?
No one saw a shadowy raven leaving the Baroness's cabin, if that's what you mean. A lot of people heard the gunshot. Inspector Legrand wants to question the passengers again this morning once they've all calmed down and he's had a chance to examine the evidence.
Have you arrested anyone yet?
You mean besides the Arab?
He could hardly have committed the murder. You must have been with him when it happened.
We heard the shot on the forecastle. I locked our friend in the detention cell in the cargo hold and then went up to assist Legrand.
So it couldn't have...
the sleep of the just.
What? No. Now you're fucking up the timeline. What?
Any other suspects?
No. Seconds after the alarm went off, the decks were swarming with frightened passengers.
Yes. A clever way to stay incognito during the commotion.
But we still have our primary suspect, the Raven.
You really think he's returned?
Well, I think that no one knows as much about the Raven as Legrand.
I don't like you anymore,
still,
my man.
It all seems so incredible. I suppose that you and Legrand inspected the crime scene and the surroundings.
Of course. And we already hit the jackpot. The murder weapon.
Really? Where did you find it?
On the gangway. The gangway for boarding the ship folds up and hooks onto the hull when it's not being used. The murderer probably wanted to throw the gun into the sea. He casually dropped it overboard.
But it landed on the gangway.
Bad luck.
But Legrand and I were on the side deck right after the shot. There was no one there.
Maybe the murderer threw the gun away later. We recovered it in the early hours.
I didn't pass out last night because of the blow to my head, did I?
Seems unlikely. Inspector Legrand thinks
That's just
you were
it telling me my
But
battery's
how?
low.
The champagne.
Who gave you the glass of champagne?
Captain De Conti.
Yeah, but he got it from... Who was it? The doctor.
It should be possible to find traces of the tranquilizer in the glass. About the champagne, shouldn't it be possible to find traces of the tranquilizer in the glass?
That
Is there an echo in
exactly
here?
what Legrand is trying to do.
Without a laboratory?
No, he's got a lab. His cabin is packed with all the latest forensic stuff. It's quite impressive what the inspector can do.
A competent man, no doubt. And surprisingly well prepared.
And diligent. He's been at it all night with his brushes and tinctures and glasses and everything. Working like a man possessed. I wouldn't want to be the Raven now.
I think I'll look for Inspector Legrand now.
Do what you think's best.
You won't get rid of me. I'm here to stay, Constable Oliver.
Be that as it may, Inspector Legrand ordered me to guard the cargo hold with our special guest. That's fine by me. Inspector Legrand may be able to get by without sleep for days on end, but not me. It's not easy playing with the big boys, Constable Zellner.
No, it certainly isn't.
Oh.
An antique wooden globe. If Galileo hadn't asserted himself back then, this would be a flat disc now.
I want my inventory filled with stuff like I did on the train. It's gonna be epic. Seems like a more extensive version of the train. Whoa! View switch. Whoa! Come on. I can't go.
How wonderful. Sunshine and a blue sky above the Mediterranean Sea. It would be a perfect cruise day, if not for the murder.
Murder. After deck?
Big, soft towels. I could reserve a deck chair with it. No, better not. Did Edison have any idea what would become of his invention? These things made quite a racket last night. I couldn't hear myself think.
You were knocked out.
I'd really like to lie in the sun and take a nap, but I don't have time for that at the moment. No, Jacob. Business before pleasure.
I don't know. It's looking nice. Come on, let me be the little birdie on your shoulder, the little demon, telling you all the bad things to do. I could use another really random camera change. Alright, we'll just keep rotating then. Come on. There we go. Clump, clump. Okay, so that's in the ship. Oh, examine the gangway.
Curious. One can easily toss a gun into the sea from almost anywhere on the ship without being noticed. And yet, the murderer chose the one spot where it's not actually possible.
I
suppose the life jackets are stowed there, close to the railing, close at hand in case of emergency. I hope I don't find myself needing a life jacket.
It's not about the life jackets, it's about being real close to where the gun was found. And where the murder took place.
Constable Oliver brought something to drink. You can tell it's not the first time he's had to guard something. It may not seem like it, but Constable Oliver is actually a very effective watchman.
He says while he's passed out.
The stowaway surely didn't sleep well last night in the cargo hold, although his cell is probably more comfortable than my cabin, and more spacious.
Really? Shuffleboard.
I wonder if this game is an advanced version of bocce. Maybe the inventor realized that it's difficult to play ball games on a boat, and came up with an alternative.
Maybe.
Salty sea air in my old lungs, wind in my thinning hair. If I hadn't become a policeman, I could have been a sailor.
You could have been a sailor. We can't go back here, really? I came prepared. Okay. No, can't go back there. Can I climb that? No. I don't want to talk to him. We're looking at everything. Also, he's asleep. I don't really want to wake him up. I know we're supposed to go inside downstairs, but
We were here yesterday when we heard the shot, and it was also here where Legrand caught our stowaway. The grate must be part of the ship's ventilation system. Nothing out of the ordinary. This isn't a panoramic deck for visitors. There are pipes, steel cables, chains up here. You can smell the smoke from the funnel. I have no idea how the ship works, and I really don't care, as long as it stays afloat.
oh,
The grate shouldn't be so easy to open. Did the stowaway open it and we caught him in the act? No. The pipe is too narrow. He wouldn't fit in there. I guess the cover has been defective for a while. I could inform the captain that the grid has to be repaired, but if I start reporting all the problems on the ship, I'd have to shelve my murder investigation.
Nothing else? Really? Oh, lifeboat?
A boat like this would also make a good hideout for a stowaway. Were the tarpaulins arranged like that on purpose so that no one could put them back in order once they get in? You can tell at a glance that everything is ship-shape with this boat.
Okay.
Why is there an axe hanging here? I suppose it's for chopping through ropes in the event that the lifeboats can't be lowered. Or they use it to enforce who's allowed on the boat and who's not. The ship's bridge. 2 men. One of them navigating. I get the impression that the officers keep things running. It seems like the captain concentrates on the passengers and the bar. I better let the men do their work. If one of them had detected something yesterday, he'd already have informed Legrand or the captain.
Okay, so that's upstairs. We go inside, go and check out downstairs. Potentially the murder room. Oh. Go and check out the murder scene. Yeah, murder happened literally right in there, right outside of the, this stuff. I don't know, it just seems real convenient.
The cabin was sealed. I'm pretty sure the seal doesn't have any legal relevance here on the open sea, but I'm still dependent on Legrand letting me join his team. I better not blow it by breaking his seal without permission.
What about the other room? Nothing? Boo. Alright, Legrand. We're coming down. Medical center. Oh, what's this?
An evacuation plan? And some tips from the doctor for avoiding seasickness, sunburn, and the like. And here, a schedule of activities. A drink with the captain, a shuffleboard competition on the forecastle. And that's about it. A real barrel of fun. An alarm like this one was set off yesterday. This one hasn't been set off. The security seal is intact. I'm not paying for this trip, and that's a fair price for my cabin. It's rather plain, shall we say. That is Legrand's cabin. No, I've slept enough.
I want to see where your cabin is. Oh, why you gotta be like that?
Come in.
Damn. I thought he was in his cabin. Okay, it's the doctor.
Hello, Dr. Gebhardt.
And there's the next one.
Excuse me?
You want something else from me, don't you?
I'm afraid I do.
What a first day at work. Well,
I am told that I was drugged.
that's how it seems.
What can you tell me about it?
Me? Why should that be my business?
Haven't you analyzed the glass?
No, I haven't. The inspector said he's the better chemist. I'll let him do it. That way I could at least concentrate on the body.
know whose glass I drank from?
What do you mean?
Captain de Conti handed me a glass of champagne. But where did he get it?
I don't know. Did you ask him?
I'm just asking because you were also in the saloon when the champagne was served.
Yes, but I only entered the saloon a few seconds before you did. I didn't manage to get a drink myself.
Which, in retrospect, is lucky.
Ah, you're right about that.
Do you think the Baroness might have been drugged? She
I
was
feel like he was
very
holding
tired
it.
and unsteady when Legrand and I saw her.
Yeah, I heard about that. I must have just missed her in the saloon. And without having seen her myself, it is hard to make a diagnosis.
Of course. Can you say something about her general health?
She was quite overweight, and the butler said that she suffered from diabetes. Despite that, she hadn't visited a doctor for several years.
Doesn't sound good.
Happens more frequently than you might suppose. Some people are scared of doctors and pay with an early death. It is possible that the Baroness wouldn't have lived much longer anyway.
Have you already removed the bullet?
Did Legrand send you? What is that Frenchman's problem? I already told you. I will get in touch as soon as I have it. That is also what I told the constable, who he kept sending all night long, once I finally got rid of Legrand himself.
Did he look over your shoulder?
He probably wanted to take the scalpel from my hand and hack away himself. But this is my surgery, and I will not let amateurs interfere with my work.
That's understandable. How much longer will it take?
Oh, I have just finished. Send my regards to His Majesty.
Thanks. What's the result of your examination of the victim?
She is dead.
I didn't make you work all night long, Dr. Gebhardt.
She was shot. Point-blank shot. Probably with a pistol. It seems like she was lying in bed. The shot struck her heart. She died immediately.
One shot?
More were unnecessary. And we only heard one shot, no?
And there's just one entrance wound.
Just one.
I think that's it for now.
No. That is it for now, then, and later. I'm going to lie down for a few hours. Can you tell that to your boss?
But...
So aggressive, bro.
could I at least have the key?
Absolutely not.
But if we have to examine the victim again...
Then the esteemed inspector knows where to find me. In my cabin. In bed. Good night, Constable Zellner.
That makes no sense at all. If you actually didn't want to get bugged, you would have just left it with me. Sort of thing.
Come in. Ah, Zellner, are you ready?
Good morning, Inspector Legrand. My head is pounding, but I think I'm okay.
Chloral hydrate.
Hmm?
That's why you have a headache. I found traces of it in your champagne glass.
And this chloral hydrate?
Is a tranquilizer. Can be dissolved in alcohol. The effect begins in minutes and lasts for hours. Who gave you the glass of champagne?
I don't want to put it on the captain because I know he's got nothing to do with this. His buddy passes the
I
blame.
think it was the captain. But he could have got the glass from someone else.
Find out.
Understood. What have you found out so far?
The Baroness was shot in the chest at close range. We heard the shot. The murderer quickly fled the cabin and dropped the murder weapon over the railing later. A simple story so far.
But why was her cabin door locked?
Exactly. If the murderer wanted to make it seem like a suicide, he'd have shot her in the head and left the gun at the crime scene.
And if it was murder, why did he go to all the trouble of locking the door from inside? And how did he manage that anyway?
Especially since we arrived just a few seconds later and didn't see anyone near the cabin.
Something doesn't make sense here.
No, it doesn't, and it's driving me crazy.
Did you find the murder weapon?
On the gangway on the side of the ship. I suspect the murderer tried to drop it into the sea. He would have stood close to the railing to let it fall unseen.
And since he doesn't know the ship, he had bad luck and dropped it right onto the gangway.
Indeed. And do you find that probable?
Not a bit.
Neither do I.
What kind of a gun is it?
A pistol. A Luger 08.
Antique.
Manufactured 1,000,000 times during and after the First World War. Austrian model. The owner is David Kreutzer, the violinist. We found him tonight totally drunk on the bow of the ship. He confirmed that it's his gun, but he claims that it was stolen from him.
Fingerprints?
Nothing. But it's worth mentioning that the clip was missing 2 bullets.
And it's definitely the
Okay, so that makes
weapon.
sense, because
The ballistic
I do
tests
remember
are
seeing that
incomplete.
in the
Actually, I've
train.
been waiting far too long for the bullet
And he did
recovered from
say
the
he had
corpse. Pay the
a
good doctor a visit, Zelna, and
license
see
for
that he
it.
does his job.
About the bullet. Here it is.
Excellent. Give it to me. As I suspected, a 7.65 Parabellum Luger.
Don't you want to examine it in more detail?
When I have time. For now, though, we can assume that we had the murder weapon. There can't be too many antique Luger 08 pistols on board.
May I take a look at the Baroness's cabin?
We already searched it thoroughly.
Sure. But what about now, by daylight?
Yes, fine, it can't hurt. Here, take this with you.
Thanks. I'll let you know if I find anything important.
But only then, please. I'm very busy.
Of course. Are you sure that there's no bomb inside this time?
Professor Lucien locked it in front of an audience, and it will be opened for the first time in Cairo.
Let's hope so.
It would take hours to crack it.
I haven't seen the
you'd need
professor
heavy
at
machinery.
all yet.
Or the keys.
Or the 3 keys, that's right.
You think that the jewel thief is the murderer?
Our friend would have needed another key to open the safe and steal the second eye, the one the Baroness was carrying.
Hilarious. You're
least,
using. Oh
that's
no,
what
okay, that's
we
the lamps
imply.
behind it.
What do you
So
mean?
you're using the
Baroness
safe
was
as a
famous
fucking
for her
coffee table,
forgetfulness.
like a table.
I convinced her to give me the 3rd key. It seems safer for the eye.
The thief searches the
So,
Baroness's cabin.
you have two
looking for the
keys
third
on you?
key.
She returns from the saloon
No.
earlier than expected.
You have
Surprises
just one
him,
now.
And he
Professor's
can't
got
allow
one.
her to
Cairo's
identify
got the
him.
other.
He imprisons her until the coast is clear, and then shoots her.
And thus, the thief becomes a murderer.
But still doesn't have all the keys.
Do you really think that the Raven is behind all this?
He wrote the letter that was on the safe in the train. Without the letter, we wouldn't have opened the safe, and the bomb wouldn't have exploded.
But it doesn't seem like him, does it? The Raven was famous in part because he never hurt anyone, much less killed anyone, during a burglary.
It's his handwriting, and he called me Nico. No one else does that. I chased that man across Europe for years. It is him. It has to be him.
But the evidence...
Enough.
So I feel like he's grasping at straws because the real Raven is probably dead, honestly.
Do you believe the violinist?
He'll
And
be the first
he
person
just
I question.
he needs
He
that.
claims he can't remember anything from the last few hours. Says he drank a bottle of schnapps.
He was on the train and he doesn't have an alibi. His drunkenness could be a smokescreen.
He fits the profile. He travels a lot, has access to high society. Could be interesting.
I'll be on my way. I want to find out who gave me the drugged champagne.
Good idea.
Inspector Legrand, are you okay? Maybe you should take a break.
I can sleep once I've caught the Raven. Goodbye, Constable.
Be seeing you. Legrand is risking not just his career, but his health as well on his hunt for the Raven. He's working like a demon. Maybe that's why he caught the Raven and no one else.
Maybe. I don't see it though. I don't. The word I'm looking for isn't nostalgia, but it's like the sense of purpose he gets from it, right? Like that's what he needs. The Raven gave him the sense of purpose. And now that he's dead...
This is the first murder scene I've ever set foot in.
He doesn't have that sense of purpose anymore, so he feels lost, type of thing.
There should be a ventilation shaft behind the hatch. Usually a good way to break in and out undetected. But we're on a ship. The ventilation shafts are very small here. The most unportable portmanteau I've ever seen. A portable bar is more like it. Must be hard work transporting this big, heavy thing halfway around the globe. And the Baroness was lucky that the other freight cars were only lightly damaged by the explosion. Another alarm. It was tripped at some point. The seal is broken. But there's no way of telling whether it happened yesterday or 5 years ago.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff in here too.
The mannequin surely came with the cabin. A mannequin for the Baroness's clothes would have a more generous figure.
Roasted.
The notepad has the ship's emblem on it. I suppose all the first-class cabins have them.
Excuse me? Oh, okay. Here, let me do this up here. Inspector, be in the saloon, 10 p.m. There is a murderer on board, and I will expose him. B. So the Baroness was gonna tell the inspector.
It says, Inspector, be in the saloon at 10 p.m. There is a murderer on board and I will expose him. B. The Baroness seems to have known the murderer, and that means that the Raven can't be the murderer. He never killed anybody. Legrand probably never got the message, otherwise he'd have said something. Sunflowers. By Van Gogh, I presume. He liked to paint that sort of thing. Can't be an original. They cost thousands of francs.
No. Jesus, me so you scared the crap out of me. Oh, okay, here we go.
The portholes face the side deck. If someone climbed out of the cabin through a porthole, Legrand and I would have seen them. Apparently, the Baroness didn't have time to unpack her bags. Or rather, didn't have time to tell her butler to unpack them for her. Something's under there. Down feathers, maybe from a quilt or a pillow. Nothing special. Although, it seems like one of the feathers was scorched at the top. Literally burnt. I'll take it with me.
Yes. I want to look at this, the vase.
A big, ugly, and impractical vase. If it had a wider opening, one could at least use it as an umbrella stand.
I feel like the bed's the last thing I should search.
A tape recorder. Must go with the built-in speakers. Probably part of the cabin's furnishings. The tape recorder is older than the hills, but it was once very expensive. Top of the range. And it doesn't come cheap.
It wasn't like
strange.
running.
There's only one reel. And it's the wrong one.
Oh.
No sign of the original reel. A reel made by Zeibling. I know the brand. Zeibling's tapes can be overwritten many times without losing quality. They're used in offices so that executives can record messages for the secretaries on the same tape over and over again. But they're not good for much else. They're robust, but they don't offer much in terms of sound quality.
Yeah, yoink.
There's still blood on the mattress. The sheet and the blanket have already been removed. To analyze them, I suppose. Nothing.
Oh.
The blood spot is the only sign that someone committed a crime in here. Somehow... That's odd. The blood is so... red. Shouldn't it gradually darken in the air? Turn brown? The unusual color of the blood could be something that Legrand and Dr. Gebhardt missed last night. All cats are gray in the dark, as the saying goes. I should take a sample. The unusual all cats...
Okay, I should take a sample. How do I take a sample?
The door frame was damaged when Dr. Gebhardt kicked it in. The real question is, why was the door locked in the first place?
So, I gotta figure out... Oh, is there a toilet or something back here? No. So I gotta figure out how... Oh, wait. No, I can't get back in that corner. So how to take a...
I guess our stowaway knocked me out. Whatever his story is, he's not a thief. Nothing's missing from my wallet. The unusual color of the blood could be something that Legrand and Dr. Gebhardt missed last night. All cats are gray in the dark, as the saying goes. I should take a sample.
Come on, get out of there. Thank you.
An impressive piece, but I don't...
There's nothing in there. There's something here. I might have to go back down to the Grand or whatever. He might have something to swap. James!
The Baroness's butler looks like he didn't get much sleep. I would describe his facial expression as worried. Hello, Mr. Inch.
Oh, Constable, hello.
You look the worse for wear. It must be terrible for you.
Quite terrible. No one will hire me now.
Excuse me?
My mistress was murdered. Would you hire a butler who's been mixed up in a murder?
But if it turns out that you're not guilty...
If. But what if not? Who else would they blame? There are no gardeners on this ship.
I understand your problem. Under these circumstances, I'm sure you'd answer some questions that could help clear your name, wouldn't you?
Of course.
The Baroness seemed to be pretty drunk the last time I saw her.
Is that so?
Does that surprise you? Did the Baroness not drink?
Oh, yes, she drank. It was no secret.
I understand. How serious was her habit?
Serious enough, sir.
Was she under any medical supervision?
Certainly not, sir. She adamantly refused to see a doctor. Like so many elderly women, she had a distinct aversion to hospitals and the like.
Okay.
How long had you worked for the Baroness?
6 months, sir.
Only 6 months? I always thought that butlers stayed with their employers for decades.
Those decades have to start at some point, Constable. Her former butler wasn't able to fulfill his duties any longer. Gout, sir.
Ooh.
I understand.
I took on his duties and hoped for a secure position for the next 20 years.
May I ask what happened to your arm?
A souvenir from the war, sir.
Doesn't it hinder your work?
Yes, sir. Obviously.
I didn't mean to offend you.
The Baroness had a soft spot for disabled veterans. I think she'd been through a lot herself.
The Baroness's
That's what I wanted
cabin
to ask
seems to
about.
have been ransacked.
Indeed, sir. By the Baroness herself.
Really?
She was searching for something the entire afternoon.
And did she find it?
I think she did, sir, yes. She was in high spirits when she finally left her cabin.
You wouldn't happen to know what she was looking for, would you?
I'm afraid not.
Would you describe the Baroness as orderly?
Well, she always had a lot of responsibilities, sir.
That doesn't answer my question.
She used to take a lot of luggage on journeys, and I helped her keep track of it as best I could. She was always very angry when she couldn't find something.
What about the photos and the documents I saw in her cabin?
I really don't know. They were out of bounds to me, sir. Memories from the war, I'd say. They meant a lot to her.
Did you notice anything suspicious last night?
No, sir. After the Baroness went to the saloon, I went to the forecastle. I was there until the alarm went off. I went to the side deck and arrived shortly after Professor Lucien and Miss Miller. We found you and Inspector Legrand there. You were unconscious, and the inspector asked us to take care of you.
Ooh, crap.
Did you hear the gunshot?
No, just the alarm, sir.
You didn't hear the gunshot?
You said you were on the forecastle. It sounded like the Baroness let you have the rest of the night off.
Not entirely, sir. One of the crew informed me that the Baroness wanted to be roused at 10:15.
Right. Why was that?
I suppose that she wanted to toast the success of the journey with the captain and the other passengers.
She hadn't intended to take a nap then.
That was not her way, sir. She had a lot of spirit, shall we say, when it came to social engagements and a glass or two of champagne.
I think that's all for now.
Please, sir, find the murderer. You have to clear me of all suspicion.
I need a swab or something to get the blood sample. It's unfortunate that Buddy locked the door.
We're lucky that the Lydia has a well-stocked medical center at its disposal. I suppose it was added during the war. A ship of this size wouldn't normally have a full medical center.
Wait, can I? Yeah, I don't think so.
Neither Dr. Gebhardt nor Constable Oliver can keep up with Legrand's pace. But in contrast to good old Robert, the doctor doesn't let himself get roped in for the long haul. I wonder what would happen if Legrand dragged him out of bed for another investigation.
Come in.
Any swab, bro. Listen, I'm not gonna swab what everyone thinks I'm gonna swab.
Constable?
I took a closer look at the blood spot from the Baroness's bed.
Yes, what's wrong with it?
It looks odd.
Odd?
I think it should be darker.
I understand. The iron in blood causes it to darken the longer it's exposed to the air.
Right. And
we don't have time to waste. Dr. Gebhardt examined the body thoroughly. He would have noticed if anything was wrong.
And you trust Dr. Gebhardt completely?
I trust everyone as much as is advisable. There will be a complete autopsy in Cairo. Until then, the doctor is one of the few people on board who is not a suspect. You, him, the stowaway, Constable Oliver, and I all have alibis.
There are still enough suspects left. About the tranquilizer.
Do you know how you wound up with the glass?
Not yet.
Then you should stop wasting my time and get back to work.
I found feathers in the Baroness's cabin.
Really?
Yes, under her bed.
I hope this is leading up to some information that justifies this interruption.
Some of the feathers are singed.
Show me. Well, you may have something here.
I think that someone fired a shot through a pillow or something like that, and the muzzle flash scorched the down.
Yes, possible. Try to find the pillow and we'll take it from there.
Perfect.
I was able to make the traces of a note on the Baroness's notepad legible. She wrote that a murderer is on board and that she'll unmask him. She asks the recipient to meet her in the saloon at 10 p.m. If we can find the recipient.
I was the recipient.
Monsieur?
When I entered my cabin last night, I found a message on the floor. Someone must have slipped it under the door.
Why didn't you say anything about it?
I didn't know that I was obliged to.
We are partners.
Not really. You're helping me out until we reach Cairo, because you somehow managed to remain on board.
But
I'll choose when and with whom I share information. You can accept that and continue assisting me, or you can spend the rest of the journey on a deck chair thinking about missed opportunities.
And none of this is by any chance related to the fact that the message doesn't suit your Raven theory. The Baroness knew the murderer from the past, and he was already a murderer when he boarded the ship. The Raven was always just a thief, not a murderer.
Careful, Constable. Are you accusing me of perverting the facts?
Of course not, monsieur.
Then let's get back to work. Good day, Constable.
I'll be in touch if I uncover more clues.
Very well.
Okay, so I need to figure out... I'm pretty sure the fucking doctor gave me the glass. Like, almost 100% sure. Maybe there's some sort of something new in here. Ah, Captain! Oh, 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 ice bucket. Ice bucket.
The alcoholic drinks and everything that goes with them is top-notch on this ship. Fresh ice and tongs. They could be useful.
Constable Zelda, what is the meaning of this? Are even the police light-fingered nowadays?
I need this tool for a criminal investigation.
Well then, why didn't you say so? So, how are you getting along? Can I be of any help?
Actually, you could answer a few questions.
Okay. Champagne. That's
Did everyone
one
drink
thing.
from the same bottle of champagne last night?
There was more than one bottle, if that's what you mean. There were quite a few guests, and the event lasted several hours.
The last bottle of champagne, the one the Baroness drank from, did anyone else drink from it?
Certainly.
We have reason to believe that the champagne was drugged.
Incredible. But wouldn't that have made everyone drowsy?
Not if it was only the Baroness's glass that was drugged.
I see. That's possible. On a night like that, many glasses are filled and emptied. There are several stewards, many guests. No one keeps track of every glass and every bottle.
A few drops in a glass?
Yes, it's certainly possible.
The glass you handed me last night, where did you get it?
Ah, I understand. You think your glass was poisoned as well?
Did you pour it yourself?
No. I saw that you weren't doing so well and wanted to rescue the situation. I took the first available glass and I give it to you.
Was it on the table?
No, I hurry over to you, together with Dr. Gebhardt, who...
Boom.
Of course. He had the glass in his hand. He was looking around for a place to set it down, so that he could examine you. I took it from him.
And gave it to me?
I'd like to apologize for that, but you look so worse for the wear, and I just wanted to comfort you. I didn't think of looking for a new glass for you.
So the doctor had the drugged glass in his hand.
So, was it meant
What
for
was
him?
your experience of last night?
Oh, terrible.
Or did he drug it?
It was fantastic. Everyone was excited about having a pleasant drink under the stars. And then this.
You were in the saloon all night long.
As the captain, I have to care for my passengers. After you and the others rushed out, I tried to maintain a festive atmosphere. But when the alarm goes off, I lose the battle.
How was the Baroness?
She really surprised me. After she was so unapproachable at the reception and didn't show her face for the entire afternoon, I was afraid she was one of the bores and bourgeoisie. But then she arrived in the early evening in the best of moods. Already had a few, if you know what I mean.
Did she say anything to you?
She asked me where Legrand's cabin was. I told her, then invited her to come for drinks in the evening. I said it would be great fun. The whole ship will be there, and you don't want to miss that, I told her.
And then?
She seemed to like the idea. She smiled, and then left again for a few minutes. Then she came back and seemed very happy. We drank a toast to life.
Let's follow this storyline.
But at some point she didn't feel well anymore?
She overdid it a bit. She suddenly started to swoon and almost spilled her drink. I asked her if she wanted to rest for a moment in her cabin. At first, she didn't want to. She definitely wanted to stay in the saloon. But then she realized that she really did need to lie down. We left together. You know the rest of the story.
Is it possible to find out where the alarm was set off?
I'm afraid not. There are alarms all over the ship.
I saw that they're sealed. Can't we just check whether the seal is broken?
I'm afraid they're gonna be missing on a lot of alarms. You know, this is an old ship, and over the years...
So, you're saying that the alarms haven't been regularly maintained?
I'll inform the crew immediately, of course.
Of course. What can you tell me about the passengers?
Oh, not that much, I'm afraid. I wanted to get to know them properly at the reception. In most cases, I just shook hands with them as they boarded the ship. There are a few regulars on board, and after dinner, I had a conversation with Mr. Kreutzer, a talented violinist, and Lady Westmacott. But you already know them from the train.
It seems like there aren't that many passengers on
They're
board.
there?
These bloody airplanes are making our lives miserable. Can you imagine? Grown men prefer to jam themselves into a narrow metal coffins instead of enjoying the fresh sea air on a ship.
It's all about saving time.
It shouldn't be about how much time it takes to get from A to B, but about how you spend that time. What you experience on the journey, that's what it's about.
I'll get back to my investigations now.
Ciao, Constable.
Okay, so I want to take a look at the captain.
Captain DeConti is sitting at the bar again. He gave me the glass of champagne last night.
Okay, we got this.
Lady Westmacott seems to be an early bird, but maybe that's just because of all the excitement. I saw a twinkle in her eye on the train. She's eager to be part of a real detective story.
Oh yeah, now that there's a murder involved?
Lady Westmacott, already on your... Oh,
Constable, don't you think before you speak?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No time for chit-chat. What have you found out?
We're still working on the case. Actually, I have a couple of questions for you.
Please, go ahead.
Have you noticed anything related to the murder?
This is their field.
Unfortunately not. I was already in my cabin and missed all the commotion. Damnable old age.
You're telling me.
Oh, you're still young. At my age, you have to expect that you won't experience much anymore. And although I've written about murder so many times, I've never actually witnessed one. How exciting.
I doubt everyone is so relaxed in such a situation.
Heartless is the word you're searching for, right, Constable? I certainly didn't want the Baroness to be murdered, but if I can't undo it, then I might as well enjoy it.
What did you think of our adventure on the train? An extraordinary story, isn't it?
I'm glad that you were able to prove yourself, Mr. Zellner.
Hopefully not for the last time.
I'm glad that everything ended well. I want to thank you sincerely for taking care of Matthew. I can't bear to think about something happening to him.
It all worked out in the end. Do you think that the thief from the train and the murderer are the same person?
I think the new Raven is capable of anything.
Legrand believes there is no new Raven. He thinks that the old one has returned.
He said that.
Do you think it's possible? Everyone thinks he's dead.
As a dramatist, the return of the Raven would certainly be delightful. A legend comes back from the grave for one last job. It's quite romantic. At the same time, though, I'd be disappointed.
Why is that?
I followed the Raven's career closely. There weren't many burglars with such character and charm. His burglaries were clever and entertaining, but he was sloppy in London. He almost got caught.
Give me a second, I want to
I'll
fix my
never
hair.
forgive him for the affair on the train. No, I would much rather that the Raven stayed dead and had nothing to do with the burglary or the murder.
What do you think of Inspector Legrand?
He seems to be as skilled as everyone says. Intelligent, focused, I had a chat with him yesterday, and he impressed me, but there's something haunted in his eyes.
I don't think he ever really stopped hunting the Raven.
Catching the Raven made him famous. What if he actually shot the wrong person? Unjustified fame bothers people, the good ones at least.
And you think he's one of the good ones?
Anyone who tries so hard to tear down his own memorial must be honorable. Or insane.
Boom.
What do you think? Who is our suspect?
Everyone. Or almost everyone. Everyone on board is
Seriously, Artemis?
capable of shooting someone. Everyone has the dark desire to take the life of a defenseless person.
One cannot read minds.
And one should not try. You have to collect evidence, traces, clues. That's what will lead us to the killer. It won't be like a bad crime novel, in which they introduce a new character shortly before the end who, surprise, surprise, is also the murderer.
Murderers leave evidence.
Don't.
They're nervous or unnaturally relaxed. They have to adjust constantly.
And because of that, they make mistakes. This is your chance, Constable. If you find the mistake, you'll find your murderer.
I have to be going, Lady Westmacott.
Please keep me informed, Constable Zellner.
Of course.
I already looked at her, so let's continue to the after deck. See what's out here. Animals being a pain in the butt tonight. Come on, get around the chair that's not really there. Onto the side deck. So we figured out, for sure, that the doctor did hand us shit. Side note. What if it was the old lady who shot the gun, and the reason why she didn't know the gangway was there is because she's in a wheelchair, she couldn't see it. Boom. Solve the whole case. I'm just going up to see if there's anything new up. When I come back down, I'll go straight. I gotta explore everything.
There's dirt piled up in the corner. Down below where the passengers are, the ship is pretty clean. But the crew doesn't seem to care as much up here.
Really? Like that's what you wanted to point out? Just dirt in the corner? Well, it was new, so I'll give you that. 15th anniversary? Oh, I wonder if it was the 15th anniversary of the Raven. So I think this is a PS2 game that they remastered. I think. A lot of the PS2 games are kind of laid out like this. Oh, I remember playing... I think that was PS1 game. Musashi? Alright, let's talk to the constable. Look at him first.
It may not seem like it, but Constable Oliver is actually a very effective watchman.
What's going on?
The Raven just flew by.
What?
Or at least, he might as well have.
I wasn't asleep.
I understand. It was just a ruse. What do you think? What happened?
Let's get
here
your
last
opinion.
night?
The
I don't like
broke
him,
into the
but
Baroness's cabin. She
he
surprised him,
seems
and he shot her.
What was he
astute.
looking for in her cabin?
Not astute. That's
She was a
silly.
rich woman.
He didn't want to steal her purse. He wanted the third key.
So Legrand also told you about that.
Why did he lock the door?
Why not?
From inside? An impressive trick.
Just lock the door
I'm
before he
not
closes
saying
it.
I know how he did it. I'm just saying that it was him.
Why didn't he leave a raven feather?
Are you serious? We'd have suspected him straight away.
But fortunately, we still did.
let's follow the storyline.
Let's assume that the old Raven really has returned and that he really is responsible for all this. Who is he? Or she?
No,
Oh, could be
so I've
anyone.
been
No one's
saying
ever
since
seen
the beginning.
Raven.
He could also be paying someone else to do his dirty work.
Well, of course. No, it's a fact that he used to work with partners. They even arrested some of his accomplices.
Old lady's
But
the
no one
Raven.
could ever identify the Raven himself. Some claim that
Mum
they didn't
is
even know
the
that they
new
were working
Raven.
for him.
The old lady
Fascinating.
can actually walk.
He could have hired someone with financial difficulties to set off the alarm at a certain time without
And then
that
the
person
kid will
knowing
be the
why
new
they were
Raven.
doing it.
The man Legrand shot back then.
Well,
he
they'll
was
call
a
him the
famous
Crow.
safecracker. He could just as well have been a henchman.
Or the real Raven. There's probably no better cover for a big thief than acting like a small one. Any conclusions about a young stowaway?
Yeah, he's a bit suspicious, foreign and whatnot.
I see. Did he act suspiciously in any way?
Do we even know if he's a
The shot
stowaway?
surprised him as much as it did me. Looked in on him earlier. Still seems to be asleep.
Covered with a blanket from head to toe?
Oh, he's still in there. I poked him.
May I go downstairs and have a couple of words with our guest?
No, you may not.
Come again?
Inspector Legrand wants to conduct all the interrogations himself.
I'm sure he'll understand if I form my own conclusions.
He ordered me to guard the door, and that's just what I'm gonna do.
How about a bit of individual initiative?
How about letting a man do his job? Or do you think you'd be better at it?
I don't want to keep you from your duties any longer.
Good idea.
I won't say that. Instantly back to sleep. I like you. I wish I could sleep like that all the time. I can't even go that way. Alright. So, I think I need to go back downstairs. No, I still don't have a swab. Where's the doctor sleeping? I'm gonna go and wake his ass up. This is as far as I can go, really? Alright, let's go talk to Lagrange.
Come in.
I wonder how many times I can bug this guy.
Constable?
About the tranquilizer.
Who gave you the glass of champagne?
It was Captain De Conti.
You're sure?
He doesn't deny it, but he also says that the glasses passed through many hands that night and that everyone had access to the champagne.
So it could have been anyone.
Maybe the question isn't who put the poison in the glass, but rather who it was they wanted to poison.
Smart. And who were they trying to poison?
Dr. Gebhardt? The captain got the glass from him.
An unconscious ship's doctor. That sounds like it would be more use to a murderer than a drugged constable.
You think so? Did the murderer have reason to assume that his shot might not kill the victim immediately and that Dr. Gebhardt would be able to save her?
You're right. That's improbable. My ego is just searching for reasons for them to want to kill her, and not me. Good job, Zelna.
I'll be in touch if I uncover more clues.
Very well.
Alright. So that was what I was missing. Okay. But I need lab stuff.
Dr. Gebhardt locked the door, and until I have good reason, I won't wake him up. Something tells me that he wouldn't be amused.
So there's still just some random person chilling on this ship somewhere. Still haven't seen the professor at all. I don't know what that's doing right now. It's bringing up something behind my face, though. Is it going down?
The ship must
It
have been
is.
rebuilt at some point. I'm sure it didn't originally have such a modern glass roof.
Wonder if that's my score. Uh-oh. Starts at like 900,000? 999,000? Yeah, that's supposed to highlight everything that's seeable, all the objects or something like that.
The gangway is hard to miss. Why did the murderer drop the gun on the gangway? They must have noticed their mistake, even if their back was to the sea. So, why didn't they take the gun and throw it a few meters farther into the sea?
Because they couldn't see it. That's my story and I stick to it. Or was it the kid?
I have to talk to the young fellow right away. Even though he was already under arrest at the time of the shot, he may have noticed something before. And what about the other gunshot? Could the second missing bullet from the murder weapon be stuck down there in one of the wooden crates? If I want to get into the cargo hold, I'll have to get rid of the constable first. He won't let me talk to our young friend. He won't let me talk to our young friend. He respects Legrand far too much to disobey his orders. If I want to get into the cargo hold,
Yeah,
I'll have
we
to get
figured
rid of
that
the
out.
constable first. The bottle should be full of water, unless the good constable happens to have a secret alcohol problem. No way to verify that. I can't get the bottle without him noticing. The metal of the tongs feels cold from the smooth handle all the way to the tips.
Okay, so... Can I just talk to him?
He won't let me talk to our young friend. He respects if I want.
Okay, so I need to go and do something. Hello? Is the game broken? Oh. So either I can use the tongs for something like the blood spot, or maybe I can get the ice and use the ice on the constable to make him go to the washroom or something. Climb up the thing and drop it down his back. Oh. Oh, I can re-talk to the captain?
I believe I've got everything I can out of him. There's nothing more he can tell me at the moment.
That guy looks like he's gotta pee. Sitting there dancing and stuff. Like, change out of your butler stuff, bro. Just relax.
Can't see anything. Wow, heavier than it looks. Aha!
Cool.
Why were the down feathers tossed in the vase? Or is there anything else in there? There may be something else in the vase, but the neck is too narrow to reach in with my hand.
Is that what the tongs are for?
There's something in there. Ah. Someone stuffed this in the vase.
Ooh.
Looks like it's been used to muffle a gunshot. If this isn't an important discovery, I don't know what is. Legrand, here I come.
Yeah, but like...
What a discovery. This pillow was obviously used to muffle a shot.
Look at the line travel across
Legrand,
the bed there
here
at the
I
bottom.
come.
Oh, we're on a ship. Nice. Good job on that.
I don't care what Legrand and Dr. Gebhardt say. The blood spot looks strange, and I'd like to take a sample. Maybe I'll get the chance to analyze it. Better not. The pillowcase is evidence. I shouldn't smear blood on it.
I was like, should I? Shouldn't I? Should I? Shouldn't I? First thing that I've been able to potentially use, though.
I guess I'll stow away now. Whatever. Sifting through all that would take ages. But here, the Baroness's handbag. Aha.
Aha.
A small leather-bound book. 1964 is engraved on it. This must be the Baroness's diary. Cosmetics, a handkerchief, a spectacles case. Nothing special.
Take the handkerchief.
Let's see. Yes, it's a diary, all right. Difficult to read. No entry from yesterday. A brief, sober description of what she's done recently. Met Morris. Arranged benefit concert for renovation of Louvre Southeastern Wing. Times photo shoot for Eye of Sphinx. BM, poor excuse for photographer. Too fidgety. And so on. This entry looks strange. The handwriting is shaky. Difficult to read. Dreamt of Bobby. Yesterday would have been his birthday. Next week, Jay's.
Hmm. Wait, what was that?
More feathers, and they're singed as well.
Can I
I'd better
use
take it with me.
that? Crime scene investigators, what that one's called. Oh, come on.
What a discovery. This pillow was obviously used to muffle a shot. Legrand, here I come.
I need to find something else I can pick up.
I can't say why, and it seems impossible, but something tells me that the murderer entered and left the cabin through the door. The only question is how. Assuming the murderer isn't a magician, and the Baroness locked the door herself before she went to bed, the murderer couldn't have left the cabin through the door. So, the murderer must have still been in here when Dr. Gebhardt kicked the door in. Which is unlikely because someone would have seen him, or he found another way out of the cabin. The portholes are locked. One cannot open or close them from outside. It's the same problem as with the door. If someone left the cabin through the porthole, how did they lock it? And the Baroness wasn't shot from outside. The doctor said she was shot at close range.
No clue? No clue. Oh, that's beyond my pay grade, my man. No, I need...
The death of his mistress doesn't really bother Inch. He's only worried about his own future. The globe nicely shows that 4/5 of the Earth's surface is covered by water. Looking out the window, I'd call that an understatement.
I need something. I have to take a sample of that blood. I just haven't gotten it yet. Like, there's so much stuff here, but none of it's interactable.
I shouldn't bother her until I have some news. Her mind is still razor sharp, and I'll need it to crack this case. I don't want to blunt it by using it too often.
So I essentially have two things right now. I need to move the constable to be able to talk to the kid downstairs, and I have to get a blood sample. Which means I need into the thing to get the blood sample.
The singed pillowcase is proof that there must have been a second gunshot.
He's going right into it. No fucks given. Got you, bro.
Inspector?
Can't you knock?
I didn't realize. I'm really...
I'm not getting anywhere. I'm going to question each passenger individually. Anyone without an airtight alibi will be checked for gunshot residue.
But, Inspector...
People trip up when you put pressure on them, Constable Zellner. The Raven is nervous. He's changed his methodology and become a murderer. I'll see it in his eyes. After you.
But, Inspector Legrand...
Damn, I wanted to search his room. with my investigator constable eyes.
We have no proof that the Raven and the murderer are the same person. Quite the opposite. The Baroness's message hints at the fact that she knew the murderer and that he'd killed before.
You may not know it, but I do. I will catch him, with or without your help.
I don't believe it. What's gotten into him? Oh, well. It makes no sense to tell him about my theories if his opinion is already set. I need evidence. Or better yet, the murderer. I also need his lab if I'm going to get anywhere. I need to get in there somehow. And I really need to talk to the stowaway. He may have information, and the inspector will just ignore him, since he's too young to be the Raven. Legrand locked the door. The lock isn't especially secure. If I had a wire or something like that, I could probably pick it.
There's nothing really in this room either, is there? Well, you wouldn't have a wire.
Mr. Kreutzer, come on, you have to give me a bit more. You're the only one who was on the train and who has no alibi for last night.
As I said, I was in my cabin.
Are you sure that it was your cabin and not the Baroness's?
Legrand will question the guests, one after another. But if he doesn't get the answers that he wants to hear, it could become unpleasant for them. Lady Westmacott, may I bother you for a moment?
By all means, Mr. Zellner.
How is the questioning going?
Are you implying that I'm an eavesdropper? The inspector is placing a lot of pressure on our dear Mr. Kreutzer.
No.
He's the only one who was on the train and who doesn't have an alibi for last night.
Perhaps. But him? A murderer?
I know people like him. He doesn't have enough backbone to kill someone in cold blood and remain so calm. He'd turn it into a drama and then a farce, drink himself insensible, and then, railing at fate, pitch himself into the sea. Forget him. Legrand is wasting his time. Mr. Kreutzer just happens to be a perfect fit for the inspector's image of the Raven.
Athletic, cultured, moves among the rich and famous.
I'll eat his violin if he's the Raven or the murderer.
I have to be going, Lady Westmacott.
Please keep me informed, Constable Zellner.
Of course.
I like you, old lady.
Mr. Kreutzer clearly feels uneasy. But does Legrand actually think he's the Raven? Legrand is absorbed in the interrogation. He still seems pretty annoyed. The violinist seems to be bearing the brunt of it.
Excuse me, gentlemen. I'm just gonna sneak by you here. Thank you. Oh, Captain! What are you doing out here?
Captain DeConti seems old and tired. The price you pay for a life like his, I suppose.
Do we want to talk to Captain?
I believe I've got everything I can out of him. There's nothing more he can tell me at the moment.
Okay. That was a weird sound. It's Myers.
Miss Mayers seems to have found an opportunity to do nothing. Hello, Miss Mayers.
Hello.
Your hat looks like it's gonna blow away, my man.
Constable Zellner.
I don't care about your
Did you
sunbathing.
hear or see anything suspicious last night?
No, I didn't feel very well last night. I went to bed early.
So, you're feeling better this morning?
Thanks for asking.
I immediately don't like you. Because of that. Thanks for asking.
Do you think it's appropriate to go sunbathing in a situation like this?
What situation?
A woman was murdered last night.
If refusing to sunbathe could bring the dead back to life, I'd go back to my cabin immediately.
Aggressive.
I'm sure your
but
parents are truly sorry that
understandable.
they can't be with you at this difficult time.
Maybe. But I'm not a little girl anymore. And thinking about my fiancé keeps me going.
You're engaged?
Yes. My boyfriend and I got engaged right before the trip. I want to surprise my parents, especially my dad.
I'm sure he'll be very surprised. But what will you do if your father doesn't agree to the engagement?
What choice does he have when he put me on this boat full of thieves and murderers in the first place?
Charming. Enjoy the sun, Miss Mayers, and don't let us disturb you.
If you're trying to make me feel guilty, Constable, it's not working.
Miss Mayers seems to have found an opportunity to do nothing.
Yeah. Things are changed, so I'm gonna go back upstairs to see if anything is upstairs, obviously. It's probably gonna be nothing up here, but gotta check. Okay, nothing. Invisible wall right there, I guess. Hey, little man. What's up, bud?
Matt is keeping himself busy with that strange game. He seems to be okay again, but I think he'd be running around all over the place if he'd really come to terms with what happened on the train. Hello there, partner.
Hi.
Are you all right?
Uh-huh.
Have
How are
you
you
recovered
doing?
from our adventure?
Mm-hmm. Mr. Zellner,
Hmm?
what's going on?
What do you mean?
Everybody's acting so strange. And there's tape across that door. I saw that in a movie once.
You don't have to be worried.
Is it about the man from the train?
It might be about the thief, yes.
Haven't you caught him yet?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
I heard you and your mom used to argue a lot.
We did. Everything was bad. The house, school, the other kids. We didn't have much money, and I was always alone.
You do know that your mother would love to have been with you, don't you? She had to go out to work to earn money.
She wouldn't have had to, if Dad were still around.
And how do you get along with her now?
I'm always happy when we do something together on vacation. She has more time for me now, and I like my boarding school. I have lots of friends, and the teachers aren't so bad.
Your mother and Professor Lucien seem to be on very good terms with each other.
Oh,
Don't you like him?
that's who's talking right here.
Don't know.
He seems to be very nice.
I guess.
Lady Westmacott is all by herself in the saloon. Maybe you'd like to visit her later.
Sure, the lady tells exciting stories.
I know. She's my favorite writer.
She told me that it's not much fun to write detective novels. She'd rather write something else, but her fans always want the same thing.
They made her rich and famous.
I told her to write what she wants to write. If it's good, someone will buy it. And if not, at least she had fun writing it. Then she smiled and nodded. She said it was a good idea.
What are you playing there?
I'm playing shuffleboard. At least I'm trying to.
Never played it before.
It's easy. Professor Lucien explained it to me.
And who won?
We didn't play.
You didn't want to play with him, did you? Do you want to play a game with me?
Sure.
Fuck yeah, bud. Let's get some.
Then let's get started.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. What are we playing for?
I thought we'd just play for fun.
That's boring. We have
I
to
don't even
bet
know how to
something.
play.
Otherwise, it isn't fun.
You English people.
So I'll bet my brand new slingshot. And you?
Okay.
I don't want to gamble.
How about ice cream in Cairo?
Okay. If I win, I get the slingshot. If I lose, I get an ice cream in Cairo.
Hey! Never try to cheat Matt Miller. So, what do you say? Ice cream versus slingshot?
All right. Let the games begin.
Alright. I'm just gonna try to slam it into plus 10 every fucking time. Oh! Okay, so a little further, I think. Right about there. Wait. Okay. Whoa, bud. Ah! Okay, that was a little hard though. Just keep hammering that, boy. Give me another 10 points. Whoa! That was cheating. You have aimbot. Aimbot.
Rats.
Haha, I win. That's one ice cream for me.
You've been practicing. This time I'll win.
Oh, I got this.
I
Yeah.
doubt that.
I got this. You don't even know. Okay, it was like right here. Ooh, okay, I'll take the 8. Oh, I gave him 10. Oh! Oh! I gotta recover that one. So I gotta slam this one into it. Thank you. Yeah, let's go. Sorry, baby. Achilles is sleeping on the couch beside me.
That's it.
Oh, man.
The athlete wins the day.
One more time.
No, that's enough for me.
All right.
I win.
Here,
Are you sure?
gambling debts are debts of honor.
Don't worry about it. I'll still get you ice cream in
I'll
Cairo.
give it back to you when I don't need it anymore, okay?
Okay, but make sure my mom doesn't catch you with it. She thinks it's dangerous.
So, what if I just, like, nonchalantly do, like, this? Wait, we gotta get a little closer.
If I had some ammo, I'm sure I could hit the bottle.
I gotta find, like, a stone or... Wait, was there dirt upstairs? I want to talk to those two, but I don't at the same time. Because they're engaged in the conversation, so I want that to kind of stop. Oh, thank you. No? Ah, come on. This was like the only place they really mentioned anything like dirt-wise.
The metal of the tongs feels cold from the smooth handle all the way to the tips.
Okay, so that was that. Alright, so I'll go and talk to them.
Miss Miller and the professor are talking intensely. She seems pretty relaxed, by her standards. Good morning, Miss Miller. Professor Lucien?
Constable Zellner, how are you? I heard you passed out last night.
Well, not quite. I was poisoned.
Oh.
That wretch!
Who do you mean by that wretch?
That stowaway! That new Raven!
The young man can't be the murderer. Constable Oliver had already apprehended him when the shot was fired.
You mean...
Whoever killed the Baroness is still on the loose.
I think I should take my leave. I'd like to rest for a while.
One last question, Professor. The safe in Legrand's cabin can only be opened with 3 keys. Am I right?
That's correct. We sent the first to Monsieur Mokhtar of the Egyptian Museum via air freight. I have one, and the inspector has the other.
But it was originally planned that someone else should carry the third key, right?
You are well informed, Constable. Baroness von Trebitz should have had it. But then there were concerns. And for that reason, Inspector Legrand took it himself.
Was that his idea?
Well, yes, you could say that. I want to go back to my cabin. I'll see you later, Mary.
Oh, of course. See you later.
That guy's weird.
I didn't want to interrupt your conversation with Professor Lucien so abruptly.
I don't know what's wrong with him.
Learning that there's still a burglar on board seemed to frighten him.
He was so relaxed the whole time, and then...
And then the stupid Swiss constable came by and made him anxious.
Oh, I didn't mean that.
No matter. I'm sure he'll calm down and come back soon enough. May I ask you a few questions?
Of course.
How is Matt? He seems happy enough.
After all the commotion, he's already back to his old self again. But I haven't told him about the murder. That would
Don't
be a
get
bit
to eat
too
plastic,
much.
bud.
I think he's made of sterner stuff.
I want to thank you again for what you did on the train. I wouldn't have known.
Everything's
go and
fine.
get some food.
Think nothing of it. How was last night for you?
It was awful. I was having a conversation with Edgar, Professor Lucien, here on the forecastle. Then I wanted to look for the lady and went forward via the side deck. When I passed the Baroness's cabin, I heard a muffled scream.
You heard a scream?
Oh?
Yes. I thought the Baroness probably had a fall. I went to the door and listened for a moment. Since I couldn't hear anything, I knocked on the door and asked whether she was all right. There was no answer.
Interesting. And then?
I didn't know what to do, so I tried to open the door. It was locked. I saw the Baroness's butler, Mr. Inch, on the forecastle. I thought he might have the key and went back. On the way, the bobby crossed my path, and then Edgar, who wanted to check the safe. I explained the situation to him, and then the alarm went off.
How did the scream sound?
It was a short outcry, very frightened, as if someone had been startled.
Was it a woman's voice?
Yes, the voice was high.
So it could have been a scream from the Baroness. Possibly because she discovered someone in her cabin.
Possibly.
That person might have threatened her with a weapon, so that she wouldn't scream for help.
Oh, God.
He waited until the coast was clear.
Oh, please, stop it, Mr. Zoner.
The Baroness's butler said that he was on the forecastle as well?
Yes, he was standing on the other side of the deck smoking a cigarette.
Was he on the forecastle the whole time?
I'm not sure. He was there, and later he was on the side deck with us. Oh, yes, he looked after you while you were unconscious. He unbuttoned your collar and held your head while the doctor checked you.
But you can't say for certain whether he came from the forecastle with you and Professor Lucien, or afterwards.
Well, no. But where else could he have come from?
I want to know about the
and
professor.
Professor Lucien seemed to be having a lively conversation.
Oh, yes. He's an expert in ancient Egyptian art and preeminent in hieroglyphic research. He's the head of the Egyptian department in the British Museum, you know. And he's going to open an exhibition at the Egyptian Museum in Cairo.
Right. For the eye.
They had planned on exhibiting both jewels together for the first time in decades, but that's not going to happen now, sadly. I think it's quite upsetting for him.
We're working hard to ensure that at least one eye will be on display.
Come here.
I asked Lady Westmacott if she'd like to participate in the opening of the exhibition. I think it would be good for her.
And Professor Lucien
You
will
want attention?
offer you a private tour.
Stay.
Did you report that to Inspector Legrand?
Yes, last night. He was very interested and took a lot of notes. But I wanted to look for Lady Westmacott, and he let me go without further delay. He said that he'd take down the
I will get up, bro.
I understand.
Do you think the man from the train also killed the Baroness, Constable Zellner?
I don't know yet.
It's horrible. Explosions, thieves, murderers. This isn't the right place for a lady and a little boy.
You're American, aren't you?
That's correct.
And you moved to England because of the job?
I lived in England before. During the Second World War, I volunteered. I worked in a pharmacy on a U.S. base north of London.
In a pharmacy? Interesting.
Well, it was the war and everyone was sent where they could help best.
Please, go on, Mrs. Miller.
After the war, I studied music in London. I met my husband there. We married and went back to the States together.
He was also American?
No, English. But he said he had problems with his family and he wanted to be as far from them as possible.
And you gave up your studies for him?
Well, yes, I did.
Life as a single mother couldn't have been easy.
It was
Especially
pretty
at this
tough.
time.
I worked from morning till night and it was still
That'd be
only enough for
intense.
the bare necessities. And I couldn't give Matt all the attention he needed.
And then Lady Westmacott entered your life.
It was like an angel appeared to me. She must have offered me the position out of pity. I had no experience as a carer. She made me a generous offer. I couldn't believe it. And she really adores Matt. She's offered him a good education, and now he has every opportunity in life.
An almost unbelievable story.
I'm still afraid that it's a dream and that I'll wake up one day.
Oh, wait. Oh?
If you worked in a pharmacy, you would certainly know something about medicines and poisons.
Everything is a potential poison, Constable. It depends on the dose.
Have you ever heard of chloral hydrate?
It's a tranquilizer, isn't it?
I'm asking you.
Lady Westmacott also asked questions like that, for her last novel. But since I've never wanted to kill anyone, I never bothered with things like strychnine and arsenic and all that. I could recommend something for a headache, a sore throat, or a rash.
That's kind of you, but there's really no need. How does it feel to work for such a world-famous person?
The work is very interesting and varied, and it pays well, too.
You are very lucky that the lady offered the position to you.
I just hope she won't
I think
change
it's
her
Lady
mind one
Westmacott.
day. What would become of Matt's education then? I really make an effort to measure up to Lady
100%.
Westmacott's expectations.
I am at.
Sometimes I feel like I fall
I'm
short.
almost willing to
Lady
stake it.
Westmacott couldn't ask for a better companion.
I'm saving up as much money as I can, all the same. I'd do anything so that Matt doesn't have to
She
give up
knows
his
so
new
much
life.
about it.
Lady Westmacott dropped a hint on the train that she killed her hero, Partout. What did she mean by that?
Oh, she must have meant the manuscript.
Manuscript?
She always takes it with her. It's an unpublished Partout novel. I once asked her why she never published it. She said that according to her will, the novel's only to be published after her death.
And in it, Partout will be killed?
Maybe. I've never read it. No one has. You'd better ask her yourself.
I'll be seeing you, Miss Miller.
Constable?
I'll let him play for now.
Okay. I want to climb this. Like, this looks climbable right here. Alright, let's go and figure out how we can shoot this water bottle down. Make him go and refill it. Now I have that song stuck in my head. It's ridiculous. Come on, stop getting stuck on stuff. Bro, just go to the bathroom, my man. Like, it's okay. Nobody's gonna miss you. Mistress is, like, taking a good long nap, my dude.
I believe I've got everything I can out of him. There's nothing more he can tell me at the moment.
Can I get behind this yet? Oh, I can look at this now?
English ham and eggs. One advantage on an international trip. is the international breakfast. Many of my
Continental
fellow
breakfast?
countrymen think it's outrageous to eat fried bacon, sausages, or anything heavy for breakfast. I, on the other hand, think ham and eggs are the only worthwhile contribution the English have made to international cuisine.
That's fucking hilarious.
Excellent.
Constable's gotta keep his energy up, my dude.
Ah, that's just what I needed.
Just gonna talk about
It's
the
not
eggs again?
fair. There's a magnificent buffet, but I don't have an appetite. Maybe a side effect of the tranquilizer.
That sucks. At least we got some coffee for you, my dude. Alright.
Lady Westmacott, may I bother you for a moment?
By all means, Mr. Zellner.
Well, let's not lead with that. That feels very pointed.
Did Miss Miller cope with all the excitement?
I think so. But what happened on the train was quite a shock for her. She wouldn't be able to go on if something happened to Matthew.
She's worried about him.
He's all she has. It breaks her heart that he lives at a boarding school and can't always be with her. But she sets her wishes and needs aside so that he can get a good education. That's her way.
Huh. So
Where's
that...
Matthew's father?
Gone. Run off. Ran away from his problems again. He drank a lot.
Again?
More and more after each setback. It's better for both of them this way.
He left her.
She couldn't have borne it. She loved him and wanted to stick by him. She fell out with her family over him. They couldn't understand her. And when he left her, the ground opened up beneath her feet. For 2 weeks, she was as good as dead. If she didn't have Matthew, she'd be dead.
You seem to know a lot about it. I mean,
So
about
I was
the
just
time
thinking...
before Miss Miller began working for you.
I have my reasons.
And Matthew, do you care as deeply about the children of your other employees?
If you fail with your own child, you hope to do better with others, Constable.
And the idea to send Matt to a boarding school...
was mine. Matthew idolized his father and blamed his mother for the fact that he wasn't around anymore. I was afraid the situation would escalate if he had to live on a country estate alone with his mother and some old people. I think I was right. He quickly made friends at boarding school. He's popular, well-liked, a real athlete according to his teachers, and his relationship with his mother has improved as well. He's headed in the right direction.
Miss Miller told me that you have a
Now to
valuable
the
manuscript with you.
juice.
That is correct.
An unpublished Part 2 novel. The manuscript must be worth a fortune.
Oh, it's not just any Part 2 novel. I wrote it 20 years ago, but it will only be published after my death. It's Part 2's last case. Maurice Part 2 dies.
You're going to kill him off?
I already have. And I enjoyed it.
Madam.
I was so sick of writing one Part 2 novel after another. I was keen to stick a knife in his guts. And so, 20 years ago, I did. Of course, I didn't want to disappoint my fans, so I let him solve case after case. But at least I was certain that he'd never escape me, that in the end, I would get him.
I
You
understand.
do you, lady.
Let's just hope that this novel remains unpublished for many more years. I have to be going, Lady Westmacott.
Please keep me informed, Constable Zellner.
Of course.
You guys are still going at it?
Legrand will attend to the interrogations, and I'll handle the investigation. I won't talk to him again until I'm ready to present the murderer.
Okay. Don't need to look at you. I need something to shoot to the thing, though. Maybe go and recheck her room? Maybe there's something in her room I can snag or something. I don't know. think the only other person I haven't talked to is the butler. I still don't know how to get this blood sample.
The Baroness was a very busy woman, and it looks like she had to cope with loss. She writes about Bubby and Jay. Neither seem to be alive anymore. Almost every family lost loved ones in the war. Maybe hers as well. I'll leave it there. I don't have time to read all of it.
I don't want to read it, just take it. Like...
The Sibling brand reel from the Baroness, the tape that came on it, and the reel... I don't care what... Better not. The pillowcase is evidence. I shouldn't smear blood on it.
But the blood is also evidence. Two evidence is one stone, you know? Isn't that the saying? Alright, so nothing in here yet. I still need to figure out how to get that sample. Try talking to the butler because he's right here. The other door is nothing, but I can walk over to it to double check.
The death of his mistress doesn't really bother him.
Oh, all of a sudden, like, wave.
Dr. Gebhardt closed the curtains from inside, which was the right thing to do. Who'd want to be greeted by a corpse on the way to breakfast? Dr. Gebhardt locked the door, and until I have good reason, I won't wake him up. Something tells me that he wouldn't be amused.
Go!
A model of the Lydia before it was rebuilt. It used to be a freighter. The wide hallways, the cabins, and the saloon were added later. Aha! Little stones.
Perfect, yeah? You think so, Achilles?
Perfect ammunition for the slingshot.
Will you come up here? Hey. I don't think he's going to, but... Come on. You just want attention? Okay, here we go. Knock over the water bottle. Make the constable get up to go and refill his water. No, not upstairs. That would be so nice to be able to cancel a decision. It's okay, I'll just turn... Hey, what's my shoes, butthole? Like, you want attention? I'm right here. What he actually wants is to take me somewhere. Probably, like, can see the middle of his food dish or something, which is unacceptable. Anything other than a full food dish at all points in time are highly unacceptable by the Chili's. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
The little stones make perfect ammunition for the slingshot. Now I just need a suitable target. All right.
Ow! 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 Ah! Hey, Zelda, what in blazes was that?
What?
Something hit me!
You mean someone shot at you?
Yes, well, no, I don't know. Didn't you notice anything?
I was riveted by the fantastic view. We Swiss aren't used to seeing the horizon like this.
And my bottle's broken too. Oh, I don't believe this.
No fucks given.
The bottle is nothing more than broken glass in a puddle. If Constable Oliver gets thirsty now, he'll be in a bind. I should help out.
What do you want?
Inspector Legrand is questioning the first of the passengers in the saloon.
And?
It will be hours before he gets to the stowaway.
And?
We'll save time if I question him.
We'd also save time if you stopped asking me the same things over and over again. I will not let you in. What time is it, by the way?
Got an appointment?
No, but I'm hungry.
Go and get yourself something. I'll mind the door in the meantime.
Ha. You could bring me something, though.
Go get it yourself.
So, what do you want to eat?
Oh, anything. An apple or something like that.
There's ham and eggs in the saloon.
Can't touch him.
Why not?
Sergeant Mills.
Hmm?
He's responsible for the fitness of the unit, and he'll chew you out if he thinks you've packed on a few pounds.
I see. Leave it with me.
Yeah, thanks.
How am I supposed to find him something? What? Invisible wall. Maybe the coffee?
Whatever Constable Oliver wants, he's getting ham and eggs. And just a pinch of salt for our friendly constable. Good. Constable Oliver.
Huh?
Ham and eggs, piping hot.
Oh, I shouldn't really.
I don't see anyone here who'd rebuke you. It was a hard night.
Yeah, true. Delicious. Just enough salt. Oh, that was good of you. Cheers.
You don't expect me to wash your dirty dishes as well, do you?
Oh, of course not, Your Majesty. Could you bring me something to drink? Those salmon eggs were pretty salty.
I'm sorry. I have to proceed with my investigations. Goodbye. Let's see how long he can resist his thirst.
I like you, my man.
Not long at all. Nervous? I would be too in your position. Who are you?
My name is Adil. And you are?
Constable Zellner. Why did you sneak onto the ship, Adil?
I wanted to go back home.
You're Egyptian?
There's no work for me in Italy. I want to see my family again.
And since you don't have money, you stowed away.
So what if I did?
So, it was you who knocked me out.
Me? Never.
No? Where were you when I was attacked?
Well, I couldn't take anything with me on this trip, so I snuck into the kitchen and took some canned goods.
Interesting. And how do you know when I was attacked?
Well, I thought it was yesterday, shortly before we set sail.
I take this bump personally. It's hard for me to believe a single word of your story.
Because I'm a foreigner?
Because you seem to have learned our language in the space of a day. Accent-free.
Believe what you want.
What were you searching for on deck last night?
I was hiding the whole evening. I wanted to go out and get some fresh air, see the stars. But then suddenly, they were looking for me.
Were you in one of the cabins?
No.
Did you see anyone on the deck or on the roof?
No.
And after we arrested you?
The English policeman put me in this cell. Then he left. I've been here ever since.
And you didn't notice anything along the way?
No, nothing.
What about the gunshot? Didn't you hear it?
Yes. The English policeman had already arrested me. We heard a bang and looked around.
And then?
Then, the Bobby was in a hurry to get rid of me. He almost pushed me down the stairs and locked me in here. He left, and then a short time later, the alarm went off.
Constable Oliver wasn't with you anymore when the alarm went off?
No. I was scared that the ship would sink with me sitting here like a rat in a trap.
Who paid you to distract us?
What?
You went for a walk around the deck and let yourself be seen. Everyone goes off hunting you, and in the meantime, your partner shoots the Baroness in peace.
No, I didn't do anything. I didn't want to distract anyone. I just want to go home.
You're a liar, and a bad one at that.
But sir, I'm telling the truth.
And I'm the Raven. Inspector Legrand will deal with you. He's lying like a cheap rug. But he probably doesn't know anything about the murder. Very disappointing. So I have to keep searching. What interests me most is the shot that was fired here in the cargo hold last night.
It's true, I haven't been able to actually, search this place since it happened.
Whoever fired the shot hit the crate. Did the shooter just want to intimidate me? Or maybe he needed the bullet? Can't see anything. If the bullet is still stuck in the wood, it's too deep to reach with my fingers.
Oh, wait. Tongs?
No. The bullet hole is too small for the tongs.
No.
The cargo hold also seems to serve as a changing room for the crew. At least for the ones who don't wear white uniforms. A stroke of luck. The lock is open. Oil-stained overalls. And here, an old toolbox. It's been through a lot. Hardly any paint, dented, and the lid is held shut by a wire. I'll take it with me.
Yeah, buddy.
Some wrenches, a bit of wire wool, an oily cloth, and here, a screwdriver.
I guess I wasn't going to be able to open those ones. I want to look at you.
The young man is lying like a cheap rug. That much is clear. Well, I think the bullet is still in the wood. I'm not a weapons specialist, but at first sight I'd say that this bullet looks exactly the same as the one Dr. Gebhardt gave me for Legrand. That would mean that the murderer also fired a shot here in the cargo hold before the murder. But why? Did they just want to make sure the old guns still worked? Or was it something else? And did the bullet really come from the same gun? I can only check that in Legrand's cabin. Somebody put the trunk back on the shelf. I can't tell whether it was our young friend or someone else. It must be uncomfortable traveling like that, even if you're as young and slim as our guest in the cell over there. I could take one of the saws with me as a souvenir. On the other hand, it'd remind me of my bump and of my rather inelegant escape.
The knife, though? Knife is gone. Hey, can I go back here? No. Just an attempt to make it a little bit more 3D. Kind of makes me think of like Final Fantasy and some of the hallways that they had. You'd kind of have to walk with like the mounted camera in the corner.
I noticed that the door was unguarded. I just wanted to make sure that everything was all right.
Tell it to Legrand. He's expressly forbidden anyone to speak to the witness before he does.
Don't act like that. Legrand can't manage all this alone. We're a team.
Only until the end of this case.
Legrand already knows and gave his approval.
Really? So you don't mind me confirming that with him, then?
All right. Let's go to Legrand and tell him what happened. You fell asleep and then you left the door unguarded. Well, are we going?
No, but don't try it again.
Of course not.
No, never. No. You just kick your chair back and have a nice snooze, my man. I'm just watching Achilles to make sure he's not going to be a butt. We still don't have anything to take the sample, so we'll probably need to get it from... Ooh, with the wire, can I break into the pharmacy?
Dr. Gebhardt locked the door, and until I have good reason, I won't wake him up. Something tells me that he wouldn't be amused.
Come on, come on.
The lock isn't especially secure. I should be able to open it with the wire from the cargo hold.
Quick. Oh, mini game. Okay, here we go. Oh. How do I get it in the first? What? What? Okay, okay. Let's just do this. No, that seems aggressive. Let's try this. But is that right though? Yeah, that seems right. Okay, so we want this one to maybe be a little bit more. Because it has to come further, right? It's a little aggressive, so we want it to be less. Yeah. Okay. The next one is like barely anything at all. Maybe like that. No, a little bit more, a little bit more. Probably about the same. Probably about there. No, a little bit more. Okay. A little bit more. And then this one's gonna be a bit. Boom! Nailed it. First try, no warm up.
There we go.
Excuse me. We're gonna examine
lock,
everything.
Master and son. Tough to crack. If I wanted to steal the eye, I'd concentrate on getting the 3 keys. Neatly folded and unused. Legrand hasn't slept since we cast off, nor on the train. Legrand must have taken and developed the photos himself. He even made copies and enlargements. He seems to be prepared for everything, with access to more resources than a normal detective. Another alarm. It was tripped at some point, but there's no way to determine when. Smells like chemicals. Legrand probably developed the photos in here. There are still fragments of the syringe that the inspector broke in the sink. Why is he pushing himself like this? Even if he catches the Raven, is it worth ruining his career and his health? A masterpiece. Forensic teams use kits like these, placing increasing importance on the preservation of evidence. But not in Switzerland yet. It's a small lab used to conduct simple analysis on site. All right, what have we got here?
I want a sample. I want a thing to be able to get a sample of the blood. Okay, we got a
Half
brush.
of the tools in this box will be interesting for an archaeologist as well. Actually, forensics and archaeology are really quite similar to each other. The goal is to find out what happened, whether
Petri
a few
dish or
hours
something?
ago or a few centuries ago. Aha! This is some kind of inventory list. For each chemical, it lists the chemical composition and a short comment on how to use it. And here's a list of the most important procedures. Fingerprints,
Blood.
gunshot
Boom.
residue, blood. I don't have to analyze the pillow and feathers to determine whether there's gunshot residue. I can smell it. And I don't have any other clues at the moment.
Come on. Come on, stop.
Fingerprints are overrated. Smart thieves wear gloves, or they make sure that there are too many fingerprints at the crime scene to check them all. I'm sure Legrand could work magic in this alchemist lab. Me, I'm just awestruck. What's this? Oh, how practical. A hermetically sealed cotton swab for collecting samples.
That's what I needed right there.
I'll take it. A small glass bowl for mixing chemicals. Good Lord.
Okay, need to go and get the blood sample, come right back, and investigate.
There's nothing written on the bottle. I suppose it's some sort of stimulant, legal or not. Legrand has been
there
awake
goes
for
my
at least
controller.
30 hours
2 seconds.
straight, maybe more.
Bam. Okay.
Legrand's file on the Raven. Centimeters thick, but totally useless. We're not dealing with the Raven. Why can't he see that? Our man is ruthless, a bomber, and quite probably a murderer. This is the pipe from the cargo hold. Legrand seems to have inspected it for fingerprints. I can still make out the powder. Aha! That's the bullet the doctor removed from the Baroness's corpse.
Nothing else. Okay, back. Oh, we looked at that. Did we look at the microscope?
A microscope. Looks like the one that Lutz Reichinger uses in his pharmacy. just more modern.
Cool. Okay, so we get the blood sample. Da-da-da-da. My man, still gotta go to the bathroom? No. Looking a little bit more patient. Definitely look a little bit more patient than the last time I seen you. Alright, let's get this sample. We're gonna CSI this whole room.
I always wanted to do that.
Now we get to. Got him.
That should be enough.
That's all I came in here for, man. That's all I came in here for. Keep looking for my pop, but I don't got any. I gotta go and grab some from the fridge. Just being really lazy right now. So at this point, I've come back full circle from what I can remember for all of my little side trails that I needed to do. I got the blood sample. I did the water bottle. Now Buddy's out of his thing. We did the locks and we're back. So we can investigate the blood sample that we just got. I don't even think there is anything that way. Sorry, that way on my screen. Oh, I never even looked at this.
Legrand must have taken them yesterday at the crime scene. Yes, that's how we found her yesterday, I think. I wasn't really myself at the time. Yes. The bed, the blood spot. The spot on the sheet is much bigger than the one on the mattress. There's blood on the blanket as well. A lot of blood, I'd say.
Yeah, so she definitely bled out there.
A rough diagram of the ship. Legrand marked the Baroness's cabin. Seems like he didn't turn up anything else of note. Shot in her sleep. She didn't feel a thing. She went to sleep and never woke up.
We heard her, well, not we, but
This
somebody heard her
photo
scream,
provides
though.
an overview of the crime scene.
Alright, let's do it. Let's crime scene and labs and we'll Dexter stuff. Let's go.
Wasn't there something about blood samples? Fingerprints? Gunshot residue? Blood? Well, it explains how to confirm that something is blood. That's a start. You have to mix luminol and a hydrogen peroxide solution and then drip or spray the mixture on the blood. The solution turns blue and glows even if there's just a very small amount of blood. Okay then, luminol and hydrogen peroxide. Aha! Luminol.
Why are we doing this? We know it's blood.
And there's the hydrogen peroxide. I'll mix it with the luminol in the bowl. Okay. I can detect blood with this mixture. The clear solution turns blue if it comes into contact with blood.
Wait, what's this pipette for?
Okay, I'm filling the pipette and putting it down very carefully.
I guess I needed it.
So, let's see what we have here. No blood. Not the slightest
blood.
reaction. If I didn't make a mistake, and it wasn't that difficult, then the spot on the Baroness's bed isn't really blood. But if it isn't blood, what is it? And more importantly, why didn't Dr. Gebhardt notice anything? He was supposed to have examined everything. I'd say it's time to visit the medical center.
Let's go. Okay, but first, super quick, I'm going to save it here. We'll make it a new save game. Because, like, PS4's getting angry with me. Can I please leave? Thank you, game.
It seems impossible that Dr. Gebhardt could have shot the Baroness. He was with me when the gunshot went out, but he must have noticed that the Baroness was lying in a pool of fake blood. Maybe he's covering for someone. Let's find out.
Oh, are we picking this lock too? No? That was too easy. Too easy.
It's probably for emergencies, in case a passenger falls down and can't walk anymore. Possibly due to rough seas, or maybe the captain's well-stocked bar.
It's also got straps on it.
The sink looks like it's been cleaned recently. I can't say whether it was cleaned to comply with the hygiene regulations, or whether there was another reason. A tape recorder from Sibling. Interesting. The reel in the Baroness's cabin is from the same company. A microphone was plugged into the tape recorder. Maybe Dr. Gebhardt records the results of his examinations and writes them down later. Interesting. A tape on a reel. The reel belongs to a much better player, like the one from the Baroness's cabin. I can't be certain that this is the reel that was missing from the Baroness's cabin, but it seems quite likely. Okay. Nothing. Strange. There. Very interesting. A shot is audible on the tape, and the reel comes from the Baroness's cabin. It's all coming into focus. I guess the trash bin is in here. Right. Paper towels, plastic packaging, cartons, and... hold on.
I'm holding.
What's this? A burst rubber glove. It's knotted, and there's a red liquid all over the inside that looks like blood. I bet good money that it's the same fake blood I found in the Baroness's cabin. Dr. Gebhardt will have trouble explaining how rubber gloves full of fake blood got into his trash bin. First, the fake blood he missed in the Baroness's cabin, and now this. It doesn't look good for you, Doctor.
Naughty, naughty. Alright, now what about the body? Like, we should be able to examine the body. No?
Time to pay Legrand a visit.
No! Who's gonna... No, I think we're dead. No. Master Detective, Episode 1. Advanced Detective, Amateur Detective. Okay, so Secret Solved 16. So it gave me 19,500. I used hint function no times. I used the hot spot function 10 times, I guess. That was probably when I was fucking around spamming the thing. But I did masterly, so sweet. Sweet. But yeah, this is probably where I'm gonna be saving the game. And then we'll pick up from here. No?
Why couldn't you just leave it be? Let me go.
This sounds so
Why
weird.
are you doing this to me? You and the Baroness. Dr. Gebhardt, I don't know. Don't you understand what you are forcing me to do? You don't have to.
It's trippy.
It is almost over. You won't feel the... I am sorry you have to see all this. I should have used more chloroform.
I'm saving it right here. This is literally where we're going to continue from this spot. So, whew, interesting, crazy. But thank you guys so much for coming out. I do hope you guys are enjoying. This is turning into being a crazy game, actually. I'm having fun playing it, so yeah, I do hope you guys are enjoying. If you guys are enjoying, you guys know what to do. Please smash that like button. So I know for sure you guys are enjoying, and we will pick this up in the next episode. It'll probably be a much shorter episode tomorrow, considering like we streamed for quite a while tonight. So, you know, but we're busting through this. We just finished the first chapter. I don't know how many chapters there are. Maybe 4. maybe 5. I'm not too sure. I did think I said the game was like 12 hours long totally, so I'm surprised that the first chapter just finished. But no, I do hope you guys are enjoying, and yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.